Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome back to DCTV, where I am your host, Drew Collins, bringing you all sports-related news here in the greater Cincinnati area. If you are new around here, make sure you smash that sub button, join the DC family on hashtag Road to 2K, hit that like button if you've enjoyed, and share with your friends and families and other Bengals fans if you haven't already. In today's video, we are going to kind of, you saw the title. It's just a Q&A, so whatever gets brought up is whatever I'll talk about. Obviously, Bengals related questions, but anything Bengals football, I'll go ahead and talk about. And you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, move over a little bit if you want to. There you go.
Hello, everybody. I'm Donovan from Prime Memory from the last stream, but yeah, I'm gonna be joining Drew today, talking football.
Yeah, so we're both just gonna be answering any questions Bengals related. Just a little Q&A stream. I've had a lot of people over time hit me up about these and just like, hey, can you just maybe get some free time, do a Q&A stream? I really enjoy them. So let's swing by and see if we can get any conversation struck up today. Have a good time. Get going here on Facebook real quick, and then I'll start answering all the questions. If you haven't already, follow me on all my social medias. Join the Discord. There's over 80 plus people in there. All we do is talk Cincinnati sports. It's a whole lot of fun. So let me get going here on Facebook. And we'll get going. Don't be shy. If you have any questions for me personally or just about the Bengals, please ask. That's what I'm doing these streams for. If this is your first time, don't be shy to introduce yourself as well. All right, so I guess we'll get going. What's up, LT? How you doing today? JT Sports. All right, what will happen with Geno Atkins? I think it's pretty simple at this point for most Bengals fans. He's gonna walk. He's probably gonna go sign somewhere on a competing team. Some team's gonna give Geno Atkins a shot. I'm not too sure who that will be. It probably depends. We'll probably have to wait a little bit longer. But Geno Atkins will walk in the offseason, and he'll probably be on, Seattle Seahawks or, kind of like Carlos Dunlap did. I think you'll see a something similar happen with Geno Atkins. Although, is he ever going to be the same after all this injury that really he hasn't been able to get over this whole season? He's been battling that shoulder injury and I think it's his first season ever having 0 sacks. So, yeah, I think Geno Atkins will walk in the offseason. I did a whole stream upon that, about that topic a few days ago if you want to watch that. I see a JT. If you guys haven't already, go check out JT's YouTube. He does sports in general, not just one specific team. A lot of good stuff over there. Uday Crosby, how you doing? What's up, Jerry? How you doing? I know a lot of topic has been going around coaching and what's going to happen, possible replacements. I know people keep talking about this season, but once again, I still don't think Bengals are going to cut loose on Zach Taylor this offseason. If you think he should be or not, I think the Bengals are going to give him one more year, realistically. But obviously, I think wherever Eric Bieniemy goes is going to be very, very interesting, just because Eric Bieniemy is a great coach. Hey, Shaw, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good night. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. If you're on Facebook, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, comment on Facebook. I can see Facebook comments as well, not just YouTube. So if you have questions, I can see them on Facebook as well. Hey, Alyssa. Good day. I just want to give a quick shout out to all my members. If you see these members right here, all these people also support like most of you do. They're able to donate a certain amount to me every month to help me keep adding to the stream and be able to do this for as much as I can. So shout out to all the members. Shout out to the recent subscriber Steve, recent donator Tony, and the all-time donator Tony with 146 buckaroos. Insane. So shout out to everybody in the Discord and everyone that's following my social media as well, and just DC family in general. I have huge things coming to the stream very, very soon. Or not to the stream, but to my YouTube in general. It's going to look totally different here within the next week or two. So just prepare yourself as we hit 2K subs. Next year, we need to stay healthy. All our star players are injured. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of obvious, but that's not something you can just say. It's definitely easier said than done. It's not really the Bengals' fault. It's just honestly bad luck. We can't say that, it's the Bengals players' fault for getting injured, but obviously any team that's going to have to compete is going to have a healthy roster. When you're down your starting quarterback, you're starting running back, you're starting tight end, starting lineman, starting defensive tackle, starting linebacker, starting corners. Yeah, I mean your team's probably going to stink. So yeah, I think injuries has been something that you can't just look over the Cincinnati 2020 season. Obviously, a lot has um gone bad this season, but yeah. Is that I don't know either. Huge, huge. Oh my. Yeah, shot. It's gonna be crazy. A lot coming. Who is that? Oh, he's a soccer player.
Yes. It,
I don't know, but yeah, it's a good one. I've never heard of that one personally. I'm not a big soccer guy. Although FC Cincinnati, I think pretty much stinks. But I mean, do you have any question or anything about the injuries or anything like what the Bengals could do next year? I mean, it's injuries.
honestly, they've got to get that something together.
I know a lot of people blame the injuries. The Bengals being one of the only NFL teams not to have an indoor facility to practice in. I know it's huge. Talking about how cheap the organization is, yada yada yada. So I mean, can you technically connect these injuries with the indoor facility? Probably not. But should the Bengals probably invest one day into an indoor facility? It's 2020. Almost every sport has one. So I think that would be good to invest in maybe. But who knows? Gonna see. You guys haven't already, on my YouTube, you can go to the community tab, and I post a whole bunch of polls on there. So I know a lot of people have been going onto those polls. I've been getting like over 100 votes per one, so that's pretty awesome to see. I used to play forward and wing in women's soccer. Nice. Yeah, I really never got into soccer. Uh, I know I played when I was like a kid, just like to stay healthy and like get out and run and stuff. But like junior high, high school, I never played. Never really watched soccer anyway. I mean, I really think the only time I watched soccer is the Olympics, like back when was the USA women's team when they won it in the Olympics. I think that was like the last time I watched soccer. So Mo Salah is a professional soccer player for Liverpool. I know Liverpool is good.
I've heard of,
Barcelona,
if you ask me anything about soccer players, I think Cristiano Ronaldo,
Messi,
Messi, obviously. Uh,
Ibrahimovic or whatever his name is.
what's
Ibrahimovic,
his name?
he's a
What's the
beast.
guy?
I know Hesh, something like
Yeah.
that. I don't know too much about soccer. I stick to American football. um, I know one thing I'm excited to watch since I don't have to stream Sunday, which I still might. I still might find the game to stream Sunday. I'm not too sure yet. I still haven't decided. But if not, it's gonna be good to be able to not be able to stream Sunday and have that Monday night stream. That's gonna be a lot of fun. But Sunday, I'm really looking. I think everyone's looking forward to the Saints Chiefs game. A lot of people are calling it, like the Super Bowl like preview possibly. I know last night the Chargers and Raiders game was a lot of fun. That was a good one to watch. That was a lot of fun. My ex-girlfriend made the Greek Olympic team in soccer. She was born there, but England declined her. That's crazy. Yeah. I go to Xavier University, and there was a girl in one of my classes who was never on campus because she was like trying out for teams like all across the country for like the USA League, like the Portland Timber something or something like that, and she was like all across the country. So she was never in class. But yeah, that's crazy. Soccer is definitely cool. Like I don't hate soccer. It's just
Yeah.
I'd rather watch football. I'd rather watch basketball. And I'd honestly rather watch baseball too. And growing up, there's not been soccer. I mean, FC Cincinnati's only been around for a few years, so it's not like I grew up watching a team around here, kind of like I did with the Bengals. So I think that was a big thing with me. But no, it's definitely great. It's cool. Players I bet on the Bengals right now. I met Sean Williams, the backup safety. He was a cool guy. I was gonna break out a story time video in the off season, but if you're in here now, there's not many of you, so I guess I'll say it now. But if you see it in the future, you can say you already said it. Uh, but I was at work and Sean Williams came in. and I used to work at a pet store, and at the pet store, like, he came in, he just got a puppy, and he was coming in to buy, like, leash, collar, stuff for his puppy, and I talked to him, I was like I knew who he was, like, I was like, "You play for the Bengals, don't you?" He's like, "John Williams." I was like, "Yep." Then I was just telling him, and this was, like, honestly, but right before I started doing my pod, or, like, before I started doing YouTube, so I couldn't say, like, "Hey, check out my channel," or anything, but I still watched the Bengals, obviously, and so, like, so we started talking, and this was before they drafted Burrow, and I was talking to him about Burrow. I was like, "Yeah, you guys think you're gonna pick up Burrow?" And he's like, "To be honest, man, yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, we're looking at a lot of guys right now." And it's like, dude, shut the hell up. Like, you knew he was getting Burrow. Like, the fact that I'm telling him I'm a big fan, he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm not too sure right now. We're looking at other guys right now." It's like, just the way he came off, it was like, dude. Other than that, he was a cool guy, but his response was just like Nicky Nacky. Kind of made me a little frustrated. But I bet Sean Williams, not that he's current, but Pecco. Reds player Brandon Phillips. I saw him in a bar once when I was younger. Um, Trying to think what other Bengals players. Andy Dalton. Um, um, I met former running back for the Bengals, Icky Woods. The Icky Shuffle, and he signed it for me. Oh, I forgot my camera's over here. So shout out to Icky Woods. But, I think my dream is to obviously meet Joe Burrow or Chad Johnson at this point. If you're born in Greece, it's the only country to allow you on their teams if you're a current alien. That's crazy. You should stream the Browns game. Okay. What time is that game? Browns Giants 8:20. Oh, so it's Sunday night. I'll consider it for sure. I'll consider it. Sunday night football, Browns versus Giants. We'll see. Came here to say Zach Taylor sucks. I have noticed. I'm hit for Drew to do a couple games outside of Cincinnati. No guarantee I'll be available to join, but it's crossed my mind. Yeah, I mean, I've already done a couple games. I did the Cowboys Ravens a few weeks ago. Then before that, I did another game as well. So I've done other games. They just don't do as good as the Bengals games, obviously. What? That's somebody else though.
Yeah.
Look it up. What happened to Jeremy Hill, a running back from a few years ago? Honestly, man, Jeremy Hill, he after that fumble in the playoffs game, he kind of dropped off the face of the planet. I mean, I think he went somewhere else. I haven't heard him since, to be completely honest. I mean, that is a great question. I don't know where Jeremy Hill ended up, man. Okay, that one's better. I think that one looks more like you. Ohio State player?
What if you?
Do you think he looks like? Do you think he look like him? Do you remember Jeremy Hill, the running back?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty beastie. Yeah, never hear recognize his name nowadays. That's
I really
exactly
don't,
like
I
where'd
really
he
don't.
go?
It's crazy to think about, dude.
Like just players gonna be on top of the
Yeah,
world just like that, and then
Yeah,
a few years later they're just
that was like
gone.
my dad's favorite player.
Yeah, he was good, but he was like he was good for a year or two and just gone. I mean, I know that running back position, but still. How do you say that? Chris Olive? Chris Olive?
Chris Olave.
Chris Olave?
Oh man.
What's up, Drake? How you doing? I mean, if we're talking like Bengals players that we miss, it's gonna be a lot easier saying this next year once Gino and Dunlap's gone and AJ's gone. Basically, all the people in my childhood I grew up watching's gone. Oh, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. But like players that I miss, um, yeah, I'm trying to think like running back wise before Mixon. We've always had a bunch of young meatheads back there. Rex Burkhead, I think was a lot of fun to watch. Um, you know, Jeremy Hill was another one. We've always had at least a decent running back no more. Andrew Whitworth. I met Andrew Whitworth in person. In person. Andrew Whitworth I've met when I was in like elementary school, I think, and his wife teached at the school I went to, and he came in and like talked to all the students. So I met Andrew Whitworth. Missed that guy. That was probably one of the worst decisions the Bengals have done in franchise history in the past decade or two, is not bringing him back. Just being too cheap to bring him back. That was one of the worst mistakes they've made. Cedric Benson.
Yeah.
Yeah, Benson. Oh yeah, Benson was a good beast.
Mhm.
Obviously Chad Johnson, Terrell Owens, Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones,
I
we
met
used to live by him. Yeah.
I played basketball with his, or I played against basketball in like a church league against his brother. So I would always see him like every time he played.
Yeah, he lived like 10 minutes from
Yeah,
us.
yeah, Hearthstone.
Um, so yeah, Marvin and Jerome Simpson's the one guy I missed. He's the one that did the
Jerome,
backflip
yeah.
into the end zone. I think he
Yeah.
went to Minnesota, and I think Carolina then kind of got out the league after that, I believe. But Jerome Simpson. On the defensive side, obviously Pac-Man. Pac-Man made a lot of mistakes, but boy, he was hard hitting and he played with all his heart, and he really let those receivers know what's up.
Yeah.
Honestly, as crazy as it was of a roller coaster with his career was Vontez, man. It was
Yeah.
just like when Vontez was on the team, the Bengals were known as like the bad guys of the league, and it was kind of cool. It was kind of a cool feeling.
I'm pretty sure he lived in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think.
yeah, I know. I miss him. I mean, oh, there's a safety. What safety am I thinking about that played? Reggie Nelson. Oh my gosh. Reggie Nelson at one point was a top 3 safety in the NFL. Reggie Nelson was a really fun guy to watch. Big wit. Yeah, big wit. Said Benson. Mohamed Sanu. Yeah, I forgot about Sanu. Sanu is a good one. Bengals have always had good receivers. They just never pay them. Like, besides AJ, I mean, he was the only guy to get the bag when it came to that receiver core. You know, Tyler Boyd got it a few years ago. And I hope they do the same thing with T. Higgins, as he's showing a lot of promise. Obviously, of like 3-4 years from now. But I mean, the Bengals have always had weapons. You know, that's the one thing you can like say against Andy Dalton. Yeah, they never had the best O line at some point. They had a good one, but he's always had weapons. He's always had a good to great defense on the other side of the ball. So I will say that. I really wish we could pull the plug on Zach. That's all I want for Christmas. Yeah, I mean, I think for the Bengals' best success in the future, I think we got to get rid of Zach Taylor. Honestly, I just don't think the Bengals would do it this offseason, but hopefully I'm wrong. One guy that's not being brought up to replace Zach Taylor is Lincoln Riley out of Oklahoma. Yeah, I haven't heard that name too much. You know, kind of think of what names I've heard, but I mean, you're always hearing guys getting tossed out there left and right. It's just too early on right now. You never know what's going to happen the next few months. You really don't. All I want for Christmas is to fire Zach, get no line, fix our defense. Easily said than done, but I don't disagree with you. Higgins is gold, yes. Higgins is the key to the future. And the crazy thing is, he's only like 21 years old. Like, he's like 3 years younger than Joe Burrow already. Which,
Crazy.
but you got to think, Joe Burrow, he went to Ohio State, then he had to transfer, then I think he played like senior grad or something like that. So a lot longer of a process for Burrow. But yeah, the fact that he's only 21 blows my mind. He's on the top of my list for me personally, yeah. Oh, Lincoln Riley? I mean, that's interesting. Eh. Is there any other players you can think of that growing up?
I met Chris at Applebee's.
Really?
I was only like 4 years old, but
You were there.
I was there. My mom told me about it when I got older. I was like, obviously, I feel like if you've ever been like Echo, I feel like
I've seen Petco so many times,
I
dude.
feel like
The Florence Mall, that dude was always in there. I used to work at the Florence Mall and Champs, the shoe store, and that guy came in here. He's like, "Y'all got size 17?" We're like, "No, dude, we don't got anything size 17." He come in like the next month. Y'all got anything size 17? Dude, he would come in and ask that question every time. We're like, "Dude, we don't have anything size 17."
Yeah, out and about. Like Pekka was always you'd see. I think I've seen. Pretty sure I've seen Brandon Phillips. What's the pitcher name for? That's Bronson Arroyo or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm. Yeah, I've met a lot of players from Reds more than probably the Bengals.
You got any questions? Put them in the comments. I gotta get some more questions up in here. Trying to see if you guys put any questions in the. I've been doing these polls on the community tab, and I don't know if you guys put any questions on there for me or not. Oh, so I'll go over the polls and my thoughts on them. So I did some polls. We'll start with this one. Will the Bengals compete Monday night against the Steelers? There were over 103 votes on total. 14% of people said yes. 12% of people said maybe. And 75% of people said hell no. And this is a Bengals YouTube. So I think that puts a little bit in perspective about the results on Monday night. 75% people say heck no, Bengals aren't even going to compete. My next one, okay, so my thoughts on that. I honestly selected maybe. I think the Bengals definitely have a chance to compete. What are your thoughts? No.
Okay, so I think of it as like a Cincinnati fan. I want to say yes, but then I'm like, being real, got Joe. We don't got either of the Joes, and that's like our weapons. So it's like it happened. But I mean, the Steelers just did lose like what, 2 or 3 in a row.
So yes, maybe, hell no.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, there you go. All right. My next one was, can we label John Ross a bust? 81% of people said yes. 19% of people said nope. And this really surprised me. I thought it was going to be like 90 plus. The fact that, well, if it's 120 people, it's about 20 to 80 people. I mean, still, that's like a lot more people, but still, I mean, the fact that there's that many people that thinks that he's not a bust really surprised me. And I know there was some people that commented, uh, somebody said, does he even play? Nope. Which I don't know if you're deciding that that he's a bust because he's not playing, or that he can't be labeled a bust because he doesn't play. Because you could honestly argue that either way. My point of view on this is he's had shots here, and every time he's come up and failed. If it's on field issues or off field issues, that guy just hasn't done it for the Bengals. So in my opinion, I label him as a bust.
John Ross.
Yeah. First round pick,
honestly,
and
I haven't heard anything about him. Like,
now, the one thing I will say in the player's defense is that the team drafts the player. The player doesn't get drafted. The player doesn't pick where he gets drafted. The team drafts the player. So it's not John Ross's fault 100%. But can I label him a bust? Yeah, I definitely can. Joe Thuney to the Bengals this offseason. If you don't know who he was, there's few people commenting like, who is he? He is like the best guard in the NFL, like a top 10 guard in the NFL, and he currently plays for the New England Patriots. It's rumored that he's probably not going to re-sign. So I said, will the Bengals sign him? 70 votes, 80% said yes, 20% said probably not. So once again, like an 80-20 split. I really think the Bengals have a good shot at signing him, and at least throwing a contract his way and see if we can get a yes or no. What do you think?
I do who that is. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes or no, though? A good offensive lineman to the Bengals?
Oh, yeah. We'll take anybody, honestly.
Okay, 2 more. Another poll was, if AJ Green walks this offseason, where do you see the Bengals drafting another receiver? 82 votes, rounds 2 to 3. 49% of people said rounds 2 to 3. Rounds 4 to 5 said 33% of people. Rounds 6 to 7 said 2% of people. And free agency signing says 16% of people, or 16% of people, yeah. Honestly, in my opinion, I'm thinking rounds 4 to 5 / free agency signing. So I'm in the minority there.
That's what
Yeah, but I think people think that you have to draft first, second, third round pick. You don't. I mean, look at Stephon Diggs. He's topped the league, and I think he was a 5th or 6th round pick out of Maryland. So yes, that's obviously rare to happen. It took him a while to develop, but if AJ Green does walk, I'm thinking rounds 4 to 5, or maybe a veteran type player. We'll have to see. I'm pretty sure the free agency receiver market's going to be pretty open.
I feel like filling AJ's shoes, that's like big shoes to fill. So we might need like a veteran or something. Like, I mean, said like he wasn't doing much for the team, right? So,
I mean, this year it's awful. Like, he's been bad.
So it's like we need somebody in there because.
Well, and my thing is, like, Tyler Boyd obviously is our best receiver as of right now, and he's receiver 2. If he gets bumped to receiver 1 next year, that's going to make it harder on him.
Yeah.
Vice versa, same with T. Higgins. He's receiver 3 or 4. Yeah. You move him up to 2 or 1, it's going to be harder for him because he's playing that better corner. Yeah. Exactly. So if you bring in somebody else, it might help him a little bit.
A lot.
I don't want T. Higgins or Boyd get pushed to that receiver 1 spot, and then they struggle a lot more next year. So that's kind of my whole thought behind it. And then last but not least, I said, what jersey do I need next? T. Higgins, Joe Mixon, Tyler Boyd, Von Bell. 8% people said Von Bell. Tyler Boyd was 20%, 14% for Joe Mixon, and 58% T. Higgins. Before I made this, I was definitely leaning towards Higgins and Mixon, and I think this kind of helped me out a little bit more, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. I look at it like which player will be on the team the longest. Obviously, T. Higgins is a rookie, so he's going to be here for a while. Joe Mixon, he signed a 4-year contract. He's going to be here for a while. And Boyd, I think, is on 3 or 4 more years as well, so he's going to be here for a while. Von Bell just signed a contract. So all 4 of these guys are going to be here for a while. It's just who do I want? I already have Jesse Bates, so I probably won't get Von Bell. I need a receiver or a running back. So I'm definitely probably between Mixon and Higgins. So thank you for all the people who participated in those polls. I'm going to try to continue doing those because I think you guys like them a little bit. So I'll keep doing those. It's just in the community tab. Where we at? Jonathan Joseph, yeah. Ray Magaluga. Oh my gosh.
I don't forget him.
Magaluga, man. Oh my gosh, yes.
What a great guy.
I forgot about that one for sure. My neighbor's brother is 49er Super Bowl player. I never care about meeting football players as much as I'm into it. I love the Reds. Oh yeah. I put my draft order in the comments of what would you draft a receiver. Okay, hold on. I go back to it. And then stay tuned tomorrow around 11:30 to noon. I'm going to be doing this Bengals versus Steelers prediction and preview stream. I'm going to be pretty blunt and straight up and honest, so no sugarcoating. Yeah, Drake said this is how to attack the draft this year. Offensive tackle from Oregon, Sewell, I still don't know how to say that for number 1. Number 2, defensive tackle. Number 3, cornerback. Number 4, receiver. Number 5, edge. Number 6, O-line. 7th, linebacker, cornerback. I mean, I think it's pretty solid. It's a lot easier to do that than actually get into the draft. And guys are going early, guys are going late, and then you get temptations. I think, like, literally the same thing happened with the Bengals this last draft. In that second round, I can't remember the offensive lineman, but that second round pick was supposed to be an offensive lineman. Well, what happened? T. Higgins fell. Temptations got to the Bengals. We want a receiver. So we picked up T. Higgins over the offensive lineman. Third round came around. That offensive lineman was picked up. So, I mean, I think it's solid. You got to go offensive lineman first. I think 2 can be a toss-up between corner, defensive tackle, edge. 3, just like that. I think 4 to 5, receiver. 6, you could probably get more lineman. And then 7, yeah, linebacker, cornerback. But, obviously, it's going to take time. Like, you got to see what happens to the draft. And I'm honestly thinking about doing the draft live here on YouTube, like a live draft reaction when that comes by. So stay tuned for that. If we take a receiver in the first round, we need to fire Duke. Yeah, I would be pretty upset if we took a receiver in the first round. I mean, unless it's DK Metcalf the second. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like there's other things we need to attack right now. Antonio Brown was a 6th rounder. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch of guys. T or Boyd are going to take over, but the question is which one. I mean, it depends who you want more on the outside. Like, is Tyler Boyd better set in the slot? I don't know. Probably. AJ is so close to Chad's record. Yeah, I think people were talking about that. Like, is he going to break it? Is it their all-time receiving? Bengals all-time receiving? Hopefully he doesn't break it. Chad's my favorite, dude.
Everybody loves Chad.
But, I mean, I grew up watching AJ, so... Yeah, Chad Johnson, wow. 10,783. AJ Green's not breaking that.
Yeah. Crazy, though.
He's going to need... I mean, he's less than 1,000 yards away. He's going to need 700. The only way he's breaking that is if he signs to a 3-year contract.
I had TJ's jersey. TJ
Houshmandzadeh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's breaking that.
Chris Henry. Tyler Eifert. What happened to him? And Jermaine Gresham?
Where?
19 and 20.
Yeah, Jermaine Gresham. Oh my gosh, Jermaine Gresham was the worst.
Marvin Jones 24th. Nice, nice.
Oh, Jermaine Gresham, man, that gives me flashbacks.
Yeah.
PTSD of offside penalties. 2 hours of sleep. That's tough. Yeah, I feel you for sure.
Very tough.
Yeah, I don't think he's breaking it unless the only way he's breaking it is as it or if he resigns for like a 3-year deal. But I just don't think that's gonna happen. See, Johnson played 151, played 151 games. Green played 124. Chad Johnson had 751 receptions. Green had 643. Oh, he could break the touchdown record though, because Chad Johnson's at 66 and Green's at 65. I mean, he should have already broke it. Let's be honest. I mean, I think he has one touchdown all season long. So, and same thing with receiving. If he's not out these last 2 seasons, he breaks both of those records if he's healthy. But he's not. So, and if you see Tyler Boyd's 13th. So he's getting up there already. Just not nearly as many touchdowns. What?
Already all the way up there. Past like all those other
Yeah.
guys.
I've been reading a lot about Chris Collinsworth in that book.
Yeah.
So yeah, Johnson was 201 to 10. So from when I was born to when I was like 9. I remember him and T.O. a little bit. Chris Henry, R.I.P. Maybe get a less known receiver to put at 1 to try to keep the mismatches we have with Boyd and Higgins. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, go draft, what receivers are going to be available? I mean, we don't need to go give someone a big contract, but you're going to have Green, Manuel Sanders, Robbie Anderson. I thought Anderson just signed the deal. That has to be 2020. Yeah, because Green is on there because we. I don't know. It would have been nice to get Roddy Anderson. I mean, he's been a baller in Carolina. Receive update. AJ Green, Allen Robinson from Chicago. I just think he's too much money. PY, probably not.
Imagine Larry came up.
Fitzgerald's gonna retire.
My favorite receivers.
Oh, if we brought back Marvin Jones, that'd be sick. Willie Snead, maybe. Corey Davis. Will Fuller, Kendrick Bourne, Keenan Cole. Like, there's guys out there that aren't going to be that much. That's crazy. Mohamed Sanu's already 32. What if we brought Juju over from Pittsburgh?
That'd probably be
Philip Dorsett,
Des Bryant.
Isaiah McKenzie, Richard Higgins, Zaquan Treadwell.
Wow.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. The chances of one of those guys coming, probably pretty slim. Pretty slim, if I had to guess. But, I mean, you never know. What I think the Bengals would do would draft somebody rounds 4 to 7 or go get an undrafted free agent, bring him up from the practice squad. Kind of like we've seen with Mike Thomas this season. But somebody's going to have to because you're going to have John Ross walk. You're going to have AJ Green walk. You have Alden Tate come back from a shoulder surgery, which he should be back, but still, I mean, that's a big surgery. So even if you do count him, you only have Boyd, Higgins, Tate. and then that Mike Thomas, who is not very good. I mean, he's a practice squad player. So that's 3 to 4 receivers. You got to bring in at least 1 to 2 more, at least. And I think with injuries this year, I think that the Bengals will be a little precautious heading forward. Monday night is going to be shared with 2 networks. What's up, folks? 2K. Yeah, I don't know. The receiver position's kind of tricky. Obviously, we look at quarterbacks. I think some interesting quarterbacks you could look at. I know a lot of people have been talking about Jameis Winston to the Bengals, which would be weird, but I'm looking more like Joe Flacco. Like I wanted this last season.
Joe Flacco would be nice.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. I wouldn't mind Jameis Winston if it's a veteran minimal.
What about Cam Newton?
He's just too much money. Plus, he'd want to start.
That's true.
If you look at offensive line, Joe Thuney's going to come over and be a Bengal. You also got Williams, Okung, Mack, Pouncey, Lindsley. Like a whole bunch of offensive linemen, man. The Bengals have to get somebody. Defensive line, I think you could just probably handle just the draft. Because if you think about it, DJ Reader's coming back. We signed him in the offseason from the Houston Texans. He's out with a season-ending injury. So you're going to have him back. You're probably going to have to draft or bring somebody in over that defensive tackle spot to pair up with him once Geno leaves. But, I mean, nothing really insane. Just somebody that can come over the middle as a rookie, or Nick Donovan Sue, a Corey Peters, Lawrence Guy, Sheldon Rankins. Rakeem Nunez Roches actually did an intro for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that video.
I think I still have it. Defensive end, Bengals have a big choice of bring back Lawson. I think they will. But if not, you got Clowney, which obviously the Bengals won't bring in. But, I mean, you got guys down the list that they could obviously bring in as well. It's the point. Who wants to join this team? Many are demanding to be traded. I mean, not really. I mean, the only people that really have demanded a trade has been Carlos Dunlap. The rest are just going to leave in the offseason. So they're not demanding a trade. They're just respectively parting ways from Cincinnati. But I get the point. It's like, who's going to be that guy to go to Cincinnati? Obviously, the ownership and the coaching's the downside, but having to, to convince people that the core is there, Joe Burrow, Mixon, Bates, guys like that are what's going to help bring people in, not the ownership, not the coaching, and not the outside, practice facility. It's kind of weird being a Bengals fan because how we have to bring other players into Cincinnati is like a weird persuasion tactic. But we did it last offseason. Von Bell, Trey Waynes, DJ Reader, we had a really productive offseason. So we could do it last season. We got to be able to bring a few more. But if nobody has any more questions, I'll probably wrap this one up here within the next few minutes, unless anybody has some last final questions. Interesting website. Last final questions. Like I said, I will be live tomorrow for the prediction and then Monday for the game. If the Jaguars get Dak in free agency, so they get Panay, do we get Jamar Chase with the 3rd pick? I mean, yeah, in that case scenario, I guess we would have to if he were to get drafted ahead of us. But what are the chances? But I mean, if he were, yeah, we would have to look elsewhere. I know Jamar Chase, a lot of people are saying Bengals should get him over Panay. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, if we don't get Panay, if we pass on him, the Bengals have to have a sure sign of an offensive tackle and a guard in free agency. They would have to have 100% know, okay, we got this guy in free agency. Let's draft this receiver. We got our lineman, in free agency. That would be like the only good scenario. I'd be like, okay, that would make sense. They would do that. Is if they already know they have this guy locked up in a contract. You know what I mean? AJ has never officially requested it to be traded. Yeah, he never requested trade. He's just gonna part ways. Same thing with Gino. They have a connection because of college. Yeah, I get them saying that, but I mean, if you watched any slick of Bengals football, any game at any time, the offensive line is easily the biggest problem. It's pretty simple. So what do? You go solve it. And if you keep picking guys that are at other positions other than the O line, it's never going to get solved. You're just kind of dancing around your problem. But seeing with Jamar Chase with Burrow would be interesting. But we got to see Burrow on the field, right? How do you do that? You protect him. Something the Bengals failed to do. If we do that, Jamar Chase, you might only be seeing him on the field, not Burrow again next season. So I want the sure thing. He has a locker room, etc. For an inside source. He slammed his helmet down during a game, etc. Yeah, no, the personality and like how upset Green has been, I totally agree. But he still hasn't requested a trade. But making those antics does like, hey, I'm gonna head up out of here after the offseason. What do we do with the round 2? I say best play available. Yeah, it kind of just depends, but I think you look at, is there any pass rushers, any interior D line, any corners, receivers? Yeah, I think it honestly depends who's there. You pick 3 to 5 positions. Within those 3 to 5 positions, best available. That's how we got T. Higgins. Yeah, I remember that. I remember doing that video. Like, I can't believe it. We needed an offense lineman. We didn't get offense lineman. We signed a receiver. Why would we do that? And then here we are with T. Higgins. Pretty excited to have him on the team. I'll take one more question here before I head up out of here. I don't want us to reach for an O-line because that's what we did with our O-line is so bad. Billy Price, whatever his name is, and Jake Fisher. Yeah, I mean, the Bengals could always trade back, but once again, the Bengals aren't just they aren't an aggressive franchise. So I see what you mean, but we have to solve that problem. We can't pass up on any more O-line. And that's why I said no matter if we draft one, we have to go sign somebody too. We have to sign somebody. We can't just draft one guy every single year. As we can tell, that hasn't worked very well for us the past 5 years. So I see where you're coming from. Any last questions here? Oh, that really wasn't a question, no. You guys haven't already, smash that like button. Hit the sub button if you haven't already. I think we're 2 subs away from 1,800. Right here, yeah. 1,800. So if you haven't already, hit the sub button. Like the video and follow me on my socials. Join the Discord. There's a link in the description. Over 80 people, and all we do is talk Bengals football for free. I'll give it a few more minutes. I think that's most people. But you know, I pledge that I be here. So if we extend Carl Lawson, who do we get to pair up with them? I mean, I don't think the Bengals go after anybody extravagant because we're still experimenting with Sam Hubbard. So I don't think we go sign somebody on the other side of him. I think that'd be too much money we're putting in our defensive line. You know, I think it'll be Reeder, defensive tackle 1. I think it'll be Carl Lawson on the end, Sam Hubbard on the other side, and then we'll probably draft another end or defensive or interior defense to back up DJ Reeder. If not, it'll probably be Christian Covington or any of the guys we throw in there. You know, and that D line. So I don't think they'll go sign the opposite side. Yeah, we bring the best Bengals content around here. East TV. Do we resign Spain and Mike Daniels? Yeah, I think we definitely re-signed Spain. I mean, he's been pretty great, honestly, and it seems like he's enjoyed his stay here so far. He seems really confident. He's really taken a leadership role in that offensive line that we really needed. And within his first 2 days where he's been on the team, he stepped up and made that play. So I think we re-signed Spain and Mike Daniels. I mean, we'll have to see. Mike Daniels, Christian Covington, those guys up the middle, they haven't done too much, but they've been there. You know, if it's a veteran minimal contract for a year or two, I think we do. If it's anything 5 million plus, probably not. Probably not. But Spain for sure. I agree. But like, imagine how good Carr would be with like Jadeveon Clowney. I can imagine, but I just don't think it'll happen. And I do think Clowney's a little overrated. Clowney's a good player, just a little overrated. But yeah, I just don't think the Bengals will spend that money on that D line. Why would we spend that money on the D line when we could spend on the O line? I thought a little bit overrated. We've been live for about 45 minutes, and I'm gonna head up out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. 11:30 to noon is what I'm shooting for to start the stream. So I'll be there for sure. Monday night as well. Monday Night Football. I'll be live. Bengals versus Steelers. It's gonna be a fun one. Okay, you might disagree, but I feel like AJ is still very good, but they kind of insulate him. He's still AJ Green, but he's not what he once was. He's taking a step back and paying him what I just don't think I don't think signing him is the best choice for Burrow's future. Anyways, moving on from that, hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Make sure you tune in tomorrow and Monday night. If you haven't already, follow me on all my socials, hit that sub button, join the Discord, link in the description. You can donate, become a member. And I hope the rest of you have a fantastic weekend. My name is Drew Collins. This is DCTV. And like always, stay you.